big one I would say from that, of course, is the Fernandes disallowed goal. I mean, how did you see it, this?
Personally, I think it should have been allowed as a goal. The way I viewed it at the time was that Fernandes was the initial player attacking the ball, so he was up first, and he was quite entitled to jump for it. In my opinion, Mitov is the one who has had a delayed reaction. He's then come out to challenge for the ball, which he was never going to get. Fernandes had his arms there in the first place. Mitov hit him, and therefore the goal should have stood. I've got no issue with that at all. I'm quite surprised that, first of all, John Beaton got David across, because I think David had a good enough view on it. But my reading of this, and again, I don't think VAR should have been involved in that, because that's a matter of opinion. It's not a matter of fact. In my opinion, and I think what David's seen was the same as myself, is that Fernandes is the one who is alert. Fernandes is the one who's moved first. Fernandes is the one who's up attacking the ball. Mm-hmm. And Mitov is reactional to that, and has got it entirely wrong.
Yeah.
So, my opinion, the goal should have stood.
I don't know how often I've actually said this, but your summation there is absolutely spot on, 100%. And wouldn't it be refreshing? And I know it's happened on the odd occasion when a referee gets called over, told to look at it. I would love just to say, do you know what, guys? I'm going to ignore your advice. I know what I've seen. This has just confirmed that it's a goal.
Yeah.
But it seems as soon as that voice is in the ear, it's almost like 90% certain that the referee's going to go with what some guy's saying in a studio. I don't like that. They're meant to be there as a backup, are they not?
What I didn't like from it yesterday, and I know Sky are privy to the audio, James McFadden actually said this is going to be overturned. He could hear what was coming down the barrel. Do you know who the first person ever to overturn a VAR decision was?
Willie Collum.
Yes.
Was it?
And it was wrong.
Yeah. But that's Willie.
Of course. It was always going to be this way, wasn't it, though? But yes, referees should have far more courage of their own conviction to say, do you know what? I'm going to hang my hat on that one. And not saying that I was the best referee. A lot of folks say I was the worst referee. I'll take it. See if I've got it wrong, but I'm willing enough to stand by my own sword, then fine. I think, as I said, in that position, Fernandes done nothing wrong. He was the person who was attacking it. He was the person who was wanting the ball, and Mitov was reactional, thinking.
Yeah, and Mitov's motion was carrying him into Fernandes, whereas Fernandes is just going up to win a header.
And he's got to use his arms to get there, and it just so happened that Mitov has come in below him. You actually see Fernandes is so far above Mitov. Yeah. And again, that's a cue to me to say that Mitov is late getting there because he can't get as high, and he's the only one who's allowed to use his arms. So no, I think it was wrong.
Most people in the comments agree with you, Des. Paul says that was a good goal. Luke says it should have stood. The goal was shocking, refereeing and VAR. James says, finally a ref with some sense. However, it's not the consensus across the board. David Beattie says, what was Keith on about last night? It was the correct VAR decision to disallow the Fernandes goal for a blatant block on the keeper trying to catch the ball. For what it's worth, I agree with both you guys. It looked to me like Mitov jumped into Fernandes. So I don't really go along with that.
But it was a shocking piece of goalkeeping matched only by a shocking piece of